Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're talking about the feat actor.
Sure. To be or not to be, Hamlet. Is that from Hamlet? I don't know. My Shakespeare's rusty.
That's from Hamlet, yes.
Nailed it. So this is from PHB. It's a feat as Bob prefaced. So this says, skilled in mimicry and dramatics, you gain the following benefits. Increase your charisma score by 1 to a maximum of 20. You have advantage on charisma deception checks, charisma performance checks, when you try to pass yourself off as a different person. You can mimic the speech of another person that sounds... You can mimic the speech of another person or the sounds made by other creatures. You must have heard the person speaking or heard the creatures make the sound for at least a minute. Successful wisdom insight check contested by your deception allows the listener to determine if the effect is faked. So it gives you kind of like the Raven mimicry, which is nifty. And also, this says you get +1 charisma, which means if you have an odd charisma score, this is a freebie, because it just turns your odd into an even, and then you get a free modifier, and that's all you really care about whenever your digging ability score increases anyway, for the most part. So that's like, gravy. So basically, where I land on this is if you want the fluff and already have an odd score, it's harmless. If you don't, this is an entirely worthless feat.
Well, fluff, what are you talking about? This could be useful. In fact, what I was thinking is, wow, all they gave you was the practical stuff. Nothing about actually being an actor. Like the fluff would have been, yeah, you can have a career as a performer or whatever.
You have childhood trauma from working on a Disney Channel show. Like that's the fluff. Okay.
You don't think voice mimicry is important? Like if you've got a disguised self going on, doesn't that help sell the character?
I think it does. I think that specific infiltration technique is a lot more niche than it may be abundantly clear to readers, than it may be abundantly clear to users, right? I have seen a lot of people take actor. I've seen a lot of plans involving stealth infiltration, getting into places they're not supposed to be. Because invisibility is a second level spell, disguise self kind of stops being a reasonable option out the gate at 3rd level. There's a lot of characters and a lot of parties that have access to invisibility, which makes initially stealth plans focus more about not passing yourself off as somebody else, but using hiding as a way to get in. Pass Without Trace is another easy example. This is a 2nd level spell available to rangers and druids that gives everyone a +10 to their stealth checks. It's going to make it very easy to get in and out of places unseen. And being unseen is often going to be more relevant than passing yourself off as somebody else. This compounds with, if you're trying to do a job that requires impersonation, command effects can let you control the physical entity. You can dominate people, you can command people, you can suggest people, you can get people to do what you want very cheaply with magic as well. And all of that being around charisma and all that being around the social navigation of a game make things like actor a lot harder to justify. Whenever you've got things like minor illusion that can produce sound effects, while it can't perfectly mimic speech, it can do little odds and ends whenever you need it to cover specific instances. Whenever you've got things like silent or like major image that can produce sounds and magical effects and perfectly give you exactly what you ask for, no saves or checks required, it's a lot more consistent. So magic, I think, takes a lot of the wind out of actors' sail. And while I think the ability is novel, I don't think passing yourself off as a different person is something that's happening often enough in D&D that it justifies an entire feat. And that's why most of it feels like fluff to me.
It could, though. I mean, it depends on how you want to go about it. And also, I mean, sometimes, yeah, you just need to infiltrate. You need to get in. Invisibility's got you covered. But, if getting in isn't enough, you need the authority that comes with playing this part to get what you want. Maybe the person, maybe there's a reason you can't command them. Maybe they're dead, but nobody knows it yet.
Sure.
Maybe they're out of town.
So I'm not going to say those encounters don't exist. They do. I don't think those encounters are particularly common. I don't think they're an every adventure kind of encounter.
But I think for the player that wants to take this feat,
sure,
that he could make them as common as he wants.
You could certainly try, right?
Yeah.
There are The minute is a large ask. You have to have spent time with the thing talking for a duration of time to be able to mimic them, right? So like if you want to play the character that's going, you're a level 3 or level 4 warlock, you got Mask of Many Faces to disguise self at will, your objective, you got the spy background, and your objective is to be the master of impersonation, a master of many faces, as the invocation suggests. Picking up actor still won't be perfect because you will have to have sat down with whoever you want to like perfectly mimic and at least observed them for a minute. That is a pretty large extra barrier. That is a pretty large additional hoop to jump through to play that fantasy. I don't think that text is necessarily needed here. I think it wouldn't be unreasonable to say you can mimic the person if you've ever heard them, not necessarily having needed to observe them for a minute. But
Well, I mean, Sam, clearly you're not an actor.
Clearly. As every actor will tell you, it takes exactly 1 minute of observation to perfectly mimic the voice of whatever you're looking at.
Yeah.
I'm pretty down on this feat.
I'm not down. I agree it's not good, but it's one of those things that I think it could be a lot of fun to play with.
I 100% agree with that. I think this is close to Tavern Brawler, but this is probably better because it comes with a charisma bump. If you really want this character, I think you can have fun with actor, especially if you want to do it in a mundane way. This on a rogue that's like the thief or the assassin that's deliberately taking assassin, not to do the busted stuff with assassinate, but to try and make the kind of middling proficiencies they get useful, where you get like to make extra backgrounds and extra characters for yourself. I could see that being a character arc that people really try to lean in and make work with this. I think you're going to struggle a lot and will benefit a lot from just like 2 levels in Bard instead. 2 levels in Bard is going to do way more for giving you tools to play those characters than the actor feat ever will. Still, actor is cute. It's nifty. The advantage on those checks is very niche, but you'll feel like, DM, I have advantage on these checks because I'm passing myself off as a different person. And you're definitely going to get in like different instances where you'll be making a performance check to do something. You'll be like, but I'm also pretending to be a different person. Can I have advantage on this? And your DM will go, fine, actor's not doing anything else anyway. Fine, take the advantage. So like, that's in its favor too, I guess.
What another downside could be, while you're doing all this bullshit, what is the rest of the party doing?
Yeah, really great question. Getting you in trouble is normally the answer to that question. Making whatever charade you have going on easily discernible as false, right? It's the kind of deal, right, where the face of the party might have no problem playing themselves off as this specific noble individual, perfectly fits into the role, and then the barbarian who has to play the role of the bodyguard goes, "Yup, I'm Sergeant," and checks notes on back of hand, Peppercorn's bodyguard, and you're like, "Yep, that's what he is. He's a dumb idiot. It's okay. We all have one of those dumb barbarian bouncers on our employee. Am I right? Am I right?" You're definitely gonna have a lot of instances where the other, everyone's not an actor. It's gonna make this in a team game lead to a lot of undeniably fun moments, but also, you don't need this feat to do those fun moments.
I'm Sergeant Peppercorn, and here are 4 friends I just made at the pub.
Let them in. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, that seems
I vouch for them.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess there's not a whole lot to talk about here.
The mimicry is cute. You can do some stuff with that where like you can feign other voices too. You don't have to like perfectly impersonate things. You can try and do creature sounds too, so maybe you like pretend to be a bear or something. I don't know. It's worse than illusion magic in basically every facet, which is why and illusion magic is cheap, which is why I'm like, I don't really need this. But if you don't want to do illusion magic stuff and then you want to still do the mimicking stuff, it's probably fine. I think this is a 2. I don't think the charisma mod makes it as like you can take this and then a decent feat that gives you +1 charisma mod and 2 spells, and that'll be a really easy way to keep your mod going up on bards and on sorcerers and on warlocks and not feel like it's the end of the world. So that's makes it automatically unable to be a 1. And the utility you get here, I definitely can see there being characters that want to play with it, and even if it's not that effective, can still be quite fun.
Yeah, I kind of like it, but I can't give it a 3. It's not
great.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for the characters that want to do this, it will be fun, and it's the kind of infiltration I would want to do as a character.
This is one of the reasons why I advocate for invisibility should be a higher level spell, is to give there more breathing room for features like actor.
All right, well, that was actor. Oh, by the way, if you'd like to see me as an actor, check out Shingles the Movie. It's now on Amazon Prime.
Very excited. You can also find Bob in all of his lovely YouTube shorts acting out in all kinds of silly, hilarious ways. Would recommend checking those out too.
Actor. All right. Let us know what you think of Actor down in the comments, and or what you think of my acting, and the other comments in the other videos. Yeah. And I guess that's that. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it. A gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description, where you'll find my Caverns Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of The Spell, and other fun things.